Okay, Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Shahida Education Wali, a facilitator at Rehan School India campus, and I am dedicated to helping students achieve enlightenment and financial freedom through education. Today, I am thrilled to have the opportunity to speak with Sir Gabe, whose vast knowledge and experience have greatly impacted many lives. Through the interview, we aim to inspire others by sharing invaluable insights, the nature and personal academic growth. I am honored to be welcomed to this conversation that will surely be a inspiration for many. Thank you, sir, for giving me time and giving your time for Empowering India show. You're most welcome in Empowering India show. Good evening, good morning, sir.
Hi, hi, Shida. Good morning. It's morning for me. I know it's evening for you, so I always
Sir,
say
I
good
think
morning.
your mic is mute.
No, it should be on. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir. Can I hear you?
Okay, so the mic is on. Are we good?
Okay, sir. Let's introduce yourself, sir.
Sure. So I always tell everyone, my name is Gabe. This is a nickname. This is what my friends call me. This is what I ask everybody to call me. I don't like sir, and I don't like Mister, and I know your culture asks you to call me sir, and I understand when you do, but I prefer you just call me by my name, and I try to call you by your name. If you can, it's okay. If you can, it's okay as well. It's just something I do around the world. I do with this stuff with kids from 5 years old through adults, and I ask everybody the same thing. So right now I'm in Cocoa, Florida, which is near NASA's Kennedy Space Center, where I was an engineer, structural type of engineer, for 17 years. And about 8 years ago, I quit my job. I was doing a lot of speaking, and I started doing more and more international speaking, and it just wasn't enough hours in the day. So I really enjoyed the speaking. It was a whole new adventure for me. So I said, okay, I'm going to look at my financial situation first of all, because I don't charge any money. I pay my own airfare. I do it for the joy of doing, and I wanted to make sure without a job I could still afford to do it. So I kind of looked at everything and said, okay, if I manage this correctly, if I'm pretty smart with what I'm doing, I can do it for a long time, and I'm going to do that and enjoy it. So that's what I've been doing for probably the last 8 years, except for the pandemic. I've been speaking full time around the world. I've been to 18 countries doing this, and I'll be going to India next month. That will be my fourth time coming to India. I'm really looking forward to returning to India.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, sir. And sir, my another question for you. And how has your experience at NASA Kennedy Space Center shaped your view of space sorry, sir, space exploration?
Yeah, so for me, NASA, being anywhere around NASA and NASA, anything to do with NASA is a lot of fun. Uh, my whole philosophy on life, it does not matter what I do, does not matter where I go. I have three objectives: do my best, enjoy what I do, and believe in myself. And this is what I try to share with others. So the experience at NASA is just like the experience of daily life. When you approach it, uh, that you want to do the best you can, and you want to enjoy it, and you want to appreciate the opportunity no matter what it is. It's always fun and always exciting. But at Kennedy Space Center, it is really a magical place. There's nothing like it in the world. You everywhere you go, you see pictures of stars, you see pictures of space, you see astronomy. Your mind is always going to magical places, and then you see a big building, and you see a ship put together. It goes to a launch pad, and it goes to these magical places. So your imagination becomes reality. It's to me, it's just so much fun. There's nothing like it in the whole world. And being a civil structural type of engineer, it's the same thing I would do in India. All civil structural type of engineers do the same thing. Does not matter the country, does not matter. You do the same thing. You deal with roads and bridges and buildings and roofs, things like that. It doesn't matter what it is, but the thing about it is where you do it makes it so much special. So it isn't what you do, it's where you do it. And just the excitement of the Space Center and of the launches is something that has led me to want to share it with others and share in the magic of it because so many really love it and don't have the chance to see what I see and experience what I experience. So I try. It's not technical. I don't talk about building rockets and stuff. I just talk the fun of being there and the magical environment.
Okay, sir. Sir, can you describe a typical day working at NASA Kennedy Space Center?
Yeah. So a typical day to me is, first of all, when you drive onto the Space Center. So I'm not sure if you're really familiar with too much. There's a big building called the Vehicle Assembly Building. This is one of the largest buildings in the world. It's like almost 200 meters high by 200 meters square. It's a huge building. So you can see it from very far away. So every day when I was driving onto the Space Center, I'm looking at this building, and the building I was working in was right beside it. So as say I'm 10 kilometers away, it kind of small, but as I get closer and closer, it gets bigger and bigger because you're getting closer. And when you park next to it, it's huge. So every day my mind was filled with the excitement of this building. And I saw ships being put together in this building. I saw flight hardware come to this building. I saw ships go from this building to the launch pad. And it's just a magical environment. So every day, the beginning of the day was super fun just looking at this magical environment. And as a civil structural type of engineer, my job was to deal with roads and bridges and the infrastructure, the things that support the other facilities on Kennedy Space Center. And one of the things I was responsible for was bridges. So normally as an engineer, and if you get older, you become an engineer. Many people become engineers. Usually as an engineer, you're assigned to a design team. You might be a civil engineer. There's electrical, structural, mechanical, all these different disciplines join together and form a team. And together, you design something that's going to be used by somebody for a job. That's what you would normally do. My job was a little bit different. I was called a programmer, which meant I program money to fix things. So one of the things on Kennedy Space Center is critical is bridges. Uh, Florida's a peninsula. It's surrounded by water on three sides. So any flight hardware comes by a train or comes by a truck has to go over a bridge to go over the water. So if the bridges aren't functioning, the flight hardware can't get to the space center. So they're critical as part of the mission. So I might go in and they may, hey, Gabe, this bridge isn't working. Go figure out why. So I would go out to the bridge, talk to the bridge tender, the person that operates the bridge. What's wrong with this thing? How do we fix it? And how much does it cost? And develop that into a budget that has to be funded to fix it. So it was really fun to do this because I went everywhere on Kennedy Space Center. I went to all of the buildings. I went to all of the cool places. So it was just so much fun. Every day was exciting. Every day was different. Every day was an adventure that I really, really enjoyed.
Okay, it's fantastic, sir. What are some of the most memorable projects you have worked on during your time at NASA?
To me, every day was an adventure, and I really don't look at one or the other. One of the things I did was towers. So a tower is a large, large structure. On the top, they may have radar or they may have communications systems, and they have to be elevated so they're above all of the things that might block the signal. And they're really high. They can be 200, 300 meters high. One of the things I had to do was go up in one of those towers. And so this is like a little triangle. It's about a meter by a meter by a meter, and it's a little tiny elevator. So you get up in this thing and you go up over 200 meters. And when you're up that high and you're looking down, everything looks really, really crazy. So I did so many fun things, but I talk about going up in those elevators because you're in this little tiny place and you're going up and you're going further and further down. It was just so much fun. Really, really exciting. But everything was exciting for me. My life is just filled with fun and adventure and excitement. Doesn't matter what I
Yeah.
do. I have the same approach. Like when I come to India, it's going to take me 40 hours to get there because I have two stops and long layovers, and so. But I approach it every minute of that 40 hours is going to be fun. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter the country I'm in. If I have a long layover, it doesn't matter. I'm going to have fun and enjoy it all. So my whole philosophy is to not to do something, but to enjoy doing it.
Okay, fantastic, sir. Very fantastic. Okay, okay, sir. How does your role contribute to NASA overall mission and goals?
Yeah, well, I think one of the things about being at NASA as any. And that doesn't matter what you do to me. We're all part of a team, and anytime you're a part of a team, each individual's point is as important as the other. Collectively, you have a common goal. You join together and you form this goal. So I didn't build the rockets. I didn't go up in the ships. I would have loved to do that, but that wasn't my position. Um, but everybody joins together. So for me, like again, if a bridge isn't working and I have to go out and help sort out how to repair that bridge and get the money to do it, that contributes to the mission. But to me, it's everybody has a role, and again, collectively is the ideal. You want to all join together, just like now, me and you, we're a team. You're asking questions and I'm answering, and we each have a role. I can't do this without you. You can't do this without me. So to me, we're equally important, and together we have a common goal. And when we help each other in the process, we always do better and always have fun. And so it doesn't matter what I do. To me, it's more about enjoying it and helping others.
Okay, sir. Well done. Sir, what challenges have you faced while working on space related projects, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, so I don't really work on space related projects as a civil structural type of engineer. Uh, I'm dealing with roads and bridges. It doesn't really directly relate to the mission, but it's a part of it. But one of the things I also do is air conditioning systems. So one time I went into work in the morning. I said, "Hey, Gabe, air conditioning system isn't working in this building, and they need the AC. Go find out what's wrong." So we're in Florida where it's really hot. Most of the buildings have AC. And so I went over to the building and I was talking with the people and I said, "Where's the air conditioning system?" And they showed me and I looked at it and I said, "Well, where is it? What is it feeding? What is it air conditioning?" So they took me inside this building, and inside this building there was a big glass room, and it was about maybe about 5 meters or 8 meters square. It was all cube glass, and in the bottom there was a lot of sand, and it was a little, I thought, toy cars running around. And then I said, "Well, what is that?" And so they call it Rehoboth, and I'm not sure what that name meant. But they said, "This is the Rehoboth room." "Well, what are you doing?" Well, these are Mars simulated rovers. We're practicing driving these rovers here, so when we get to Mars, we can design them to correctly get through the sand and the obstacles. So I thought that was pretty cool. That was a lot of fun. But everything is fun to me. Everywhere you go on Kennedy Space Center, every building you walk into, there's always pictures of space, of everything that takes your mind somewhere, magical places. So for me, it's all fun. It doesn't matter what you do. I say you can cut the grass on Kennedy Space Center. It's still going to be magical.
Okay, sir. And sir, how did your studies at Rollins College prepare you for your career at NASA?
They were instrumental in me getting my career at NASA, as far as I'm concerned. As you get older and you're going to start looking for jobs, you're going to have to look for a job that you want to do, and there's going to be requirements. So almost any type of engineering position requires a university degree. So without the engine, even if you can do it without the engineering degree uh, from a university, you can't apply for the job. So one of the things I did when I got out of high school, and I tell everyone how I struggled out of high school, that I did not want to go to university. But after a while, I realized that the jobs I want to do, I need to go to university. So I went to university at night. So when I applied for the job at NASA, uh, one of the requirements was university degree, which I had. So without that, I wouldn't have had the opportunity. And I always encourage students around the world, when I'm speaking at schools, I tried to go to university. I used to think you had to be really smart to go to university, and I struggled in school, so I didn't think I would ever be smart enough to go to university. But I realized you don't have to be so smart. You just have to be determined. And one of the things I speak with kids about, look, if I can get through university, you can get through university, because I'm not that smart, and you don't have to be that smart. You just have to be determined.
Okay, fantastic, sir. Sir, what skills or knowledge from your education do you find most valuable in your current role?
Uh, You know, uh, for me, life is about being enjoyment. So as you progress through life, you build knowledge, you build many things. But for me, I've developed a really good philosophy on life, and this is what I try to share at schools. You're always told to be successful. you must work hard. Everybody is told that. It doesn't matter if it's India, if it's Pakistan, if it's Germany, Norway, any country in the world, everybody is told the same thing. To be successful, you must work hard. And if you're not successful, it's your fault. You're not working hard enough. They say to you, work harder, work harder. And also, you're filled with stress and pressure in your life. And I think it's really sad. You do not have to work, nothing has to be hard. You can approach life mentally in a certain way and never work, never have stress, never have pressure, and be very successful if you can develop a positive mental approach. So, the thing I talk about most is three things. Learn these three things, you'll never work, nothing will ever be hard, you'll never have stress, you'll never have pressure. Do your best, enjoy what you do, believe in yourself. If you learn those three things, everything you do will be fun. And the most critical is believe in yourself. Very, very few people have that. It doesn't matter how successful they are, doesn't matter how much money they have. They just don't have that belief in themselves. That's why they have stress. That's why they have pressure. Learn to develop that belief in yourself. It's so important. Let's say you have everything starts usually with a dream or a thought. You take that dream or thought, you write it down and say, this is my goal. And you ask yourself, what steps do I take to achieve it? And you plan small steps. The smaller the step, the easier it is to achieve. The easier it is to achieve, it helps you develop that belief and that confidence in yourself. So you always want to go slowly and you build and you build and you build. And one day you say to yourself, I can do anything. When you believe you can do anything, you never have stress, you never have pressure. You just go do it. And when you enjoy it, you have fun. And when you have fun, you do better. So, this is always my philosophy. And this is some of the things I've learned along the way that I try to share, which are most important to me. Because if I can get you to see this, if I get you to understand, either way, you're going to do the same thing. It's only how you think about it. If you can think about it in a positive way, it just becomes so much easier and it helps you have that confidence and belief in yourself. So, this is what I try to talk about the most. And this is why I accept so many of these interviews. I don't know how many of these I've done, but I do them all. Anytime somebody asks me, I do them. I want the opportunity to share with you. And I'm not sure where you are in India, but hopefully I'll be in India in probably the end of October and early November. Maybe I'll get to see you. I'm not sure. So, but being in India, I look forward to coming back to India. But it's so much fun in India.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, what advice would you give to students aspiring to work in space exploration or STEM fields?
I just say enjoy. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what field it is. Follow your instincts, follow your dreams. For those that love space, get into the space field. If you like the arts, get into the arts field. But if you like space, get into the space field. For me, India has a great space program. I'm not so sure if you're familiar with ISRO. ISRO is the Indian space program, and it's like NASA. It's the Indian version of NASA. It's ISRO, ISRO, and that's what it is. And it's a great space program. Right now, America, for the first time ever, launched a ship to a star. We never had a ship go to a star, and it was about a year ago. And this ship went to the star, and the star is our sun. And about a month later, India also sent a ship to a sun. So India right now has a ship going to the sun. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but Indian space program is really good and it's getting better. I encourage everybody, follow your dreams, follow your instincts. Anything is possible when you believe yourself. Sometimes the most challenging thing is, what am I going to do? Very few people have that knowledge. If you have that, it's so great because you just go do it. If you don't have it, like so many, and I never had it, people always saying to you, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm going to the beach. No, you have to have a job. Oh, I'm going to play sports. No, you have to have a real job. What are you going to do? So it's a struggle. And I always say to anybody who's struggling, ask yourself, what would be the most fun thing to do every day? Every day when I get up, I'm going to go do this. What's the most fun thing? And make it your goal. Plan the steps to achieve it. And more than likely, somewhere along the way, something will click and you'll say, I know what I really want to do. But without goals, to me, there's no incentive. Why do I go to school? Why do I do well? If you don't have any answers for that, I don't know what the incentive is to do well, as opposed to when you do have it.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your answer. And sir, what do you think is the most significant contribution NASA has made to society? And how do you see yourself contributing to that?
One of the things I think with NASA is, it promotes education and it shares knowledge. I think, to me, one of the greatest things about NASA is its ability to share with everybody and promote education. So I think it's important that people understand, and I think this is true many agencies around the world, but NASA is kind of the forefront of everything. I think the best thing about NASA is the way it shares and encourages everybody to get involved in the space program, and even when something doesn't go well, NASA still shares it. They don't hide it. They show that not everything goes well, and often we learn from what doesn't. And that's something else. Never be afraid to try. If you have want to do something, go do it. Never be afraid to try because you never fail. Never. No matter what you do, you learn. And when you learn, you become a better and wiser person. So never fail. Never think fail. Always think adventure. Always think excitement. And when you start to do something and it doesn't go as expected, it doesn't mean you failed. You learned, and you learn so much more when things don't go as expected. So for me, NASA, it's just NASA. In the beginning, I was always amazed at how NASA was so open about everything it did and shared with other countries and other space agencies to collectively get better. So I think that's my perception of NASA. That's the greatest achievement is how it shares. Of course, going to the moon and going to all these all these different planets, that's all super cool as well. But I think it's more to me about the ability to bring people together with a common goal.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, how do you hope to inspire the next generation, our scientists and engineers?
So what I do is I right now I travel around the country, I travel around the world speaking with students that about the space program. I talk about the history of the space program, about the space shuttle, about the Apollo missions that went to the moon. Right now, rovers on Mars, astronauts living up in space on a space station. The future of the space program, which involves, maybe you will go walk on the moon, maybe you walk on Mars. It's going to happen in your lifetime, and you have an opportunity to do that. So I talk about that, but I really talk about dreams and goals and enjoying life. To me, this is so important. So few people really have happy lives. They struggle with stress and pressure and working hard, and life does not have to be that way. And it doesn't matter your profession. It doesn't matter to me what you want to do. The main thing is you want to enjoy it. And I don't know how I contribute on a daily basis. I think now that I'm no longer at NASA, I'm now traveling around on my own. I think I hopefully I bring a better perspective of what it's really like. Most people, probably you, and when you speak with somebody, I wonder what it's like to be at NASA. And so when you have someone you can talk to directly who's been there, I think it helps you understand. I think it furthers the view of NASA. But I try to do it from a fun perspective, and I don't get involved in technical things. And I just the enjoyment of life. This is most important.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, where do you see your career heading in the next 5 to 10 years? And what do you hope to accomplish?
So, for me, I'm just going to continue to travel around the world speaking with schools. My goal is always the same when I'm doing this, to try to get my objective after this interview, or if I were to come to your university or school and speak with you. I hope to have two things when I leave. You feel better about yourself, and you feel better about your future. So this is really what I really want to do. And I've had this awesome connection with students, and I don't know why. I just know it's so much fun. It's the same for them for as it is for me. And so when I'm at schools and I'm speaking with the kids, it's always fun for me, and it's fun for them, because everything I do, I show movies. So I show shuttle launches, I show pictures of space. Every time I'm speaking about something, there's a visual that accompanies it. So it's really easy to follow along with what I'm speaking about when you can see it. And it's always about the magic of the space program, always about feeling good about yourself, how to develop a positive mental approach to your day. And at the end of the day, my objective is the same. It will be the same in 5 or 10 years as it is now. Hopefully, I can leave you, if I visit your school, or even through this, that you can take a better way of looking at things, and you can have a very happy life and be very successful. This is most important.
Okay, sir. Sir, thank you so much, Sir Gabe, for your time and for sharing your incredible journey and wisdom with us today. Your insights will undoubtedly resonate with the students and lifelong learners alike as we continue on our path toward enlightenment and financial independence. Your experiences serve as a powerful guide. I look forward to the lasting impact this conversation will have on our audience. May we all continue to learn, grow, and empower others. And together, thank you so much, sir. Again,
So you're very welcome, and it's a pleasure to speak with you. You know, I can't see your smile because of the mask, but I can see your smile in your eyes, and your eyes are sparkling, and I can see you're happy, and I can see you're having fun, and this is awesome. I really enjoy sharing this with you. But I can see your smile through your eyes, and one of the most interesting things for me that I learned around the world. I've been to 18 countries, and what I've learned most is everybody is the same. Everybody is exactly the same. You all have the same look on your face. You have the same smiles. You have the same look in your eyes. You interface with each other as the same. It's amazing to me how much we are identical, not alike, but identical. And it's just so much fun. And I thank you for the opportunity. Hopefully, I'll get to see you when I'm in India in a few weeks. And can you take a screenshot of us and send it to me so I can put it on Instagram?
okay, sir. I take.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
You're very
We'll
welcome.
meet.
Thank you for the opportunity. Okay. Bye to
Okay, sir.
everybody
We'll
in
meet.
India. Hopefully, I'll get to see you in a few weeks.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.